Welcome to the Equinety Podcast, where horse owners just like you share their incredible Equinety stories and how Equinety is changing their horses' lives. Whether you're searching for something to give your performance horse better focus, faster recovery, and more stamina, or in the extreme case where all hope seems lost, give your horse what it needs to help heal at a cellular level, you'll find it here. So jump in on today's episode to hear how Equinety is helping horses worldwide. Now, welcome your host, John Dowdy.
Hello and welcome to this week's Equinety Podcast. We're swinging out into the West Coast. That's the West Coast for me. I'm down in Florida, but we're going all the way out to Utah. And we've got Kim Harmon on the call this week. Kim, welcome to the Equinety Podcast.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, as always, it's great to have guests on. And I was really excited about this one. I actually ran across one of your comments in one of the many Facebook ads that we run, on a daily basis, and it really struck me because from what I quickly read, you had been dealing with a very severe mystery lameness case with all kinds of question marks all over the place with farriers, veterinarians, testing. Nobody could seem to find out what's going on. So tell us a little bit about what you were dealing with. How long have you had your horse? When did it start coming up? And then let's start at that point.
Well, Flint's a horse I've had all his life. I started him as a baby, and I've been riding him for 10 years. And he's a gaited horse. He's a Missouri Foxtrotter, and he has never, ever had a misstep in his life. He's never had any lameness issues. He's a tough as nails, athletic little horse. And been riding him all these years, many, many miles in tough country. And we moved to Utah from Washington State. And for whatever reason, he started to be, wouldn't say he was lame, but I know my horse, and he was off. And talked to my shoer about it, and he did various lameness experiments and checking with different equipment to see if he would be sore, and he would never show sore, but he was off. And then that was going on we tried various ways of shoeing and different things for almost a year, and it was progressively getting worse. I actually switched shoers 3 times, and actually 4 times. And so I had 4 different shoers working on him. And then I started with the vets, and a little more, he was just more and more off. I'd turn him out in the field with the other horses. The other horses would run, and he would stand and watch them run by. He would not, he was too uncomfortable to run. And I could see some lameness in the field when he'd be out. So it just kept progressing, and I ended up taking him to the vet, did full lameness exam, x-rays, ultrasounds, spent a few thousand in tests, and not one conclusion. And at a certain point, I was riding him, and he just went 3-legged on me. He would not touch the ground with his left front foot. So I thought, oh, well, at least we have finally narrowed it down to a foot. I took him to a specialist down in Las Vegas, and they went through the myriad tests, and they still could not figure out. It was not 1 foot. It was all 4 points, quarters of the horse, but we don't know where. And that's when I decided to try something. I had seen Equinety on Facebook, and I was very skeptical. It's just another product with a lot of claims. But when I have my heart horse that is not rideable, I thought, well, it's worth a try. So I put him on it in December and did a little bit more shoeing things as well. And it didn't take long, actually. It was very quick. And I would say within a couple weeks, actually even less, he was improved. Mm-hmm. And within a month or 2, I couldn't detect anything. And now at 3 months, he's chugging along like he was when he was before all of this started. And he's going perfectly. I got my horse back.
This sounds way too good to be true here, what you're saying.
It does. But it is true.
And I spoke right over the top of you, and you said you've got your horse back. I mean, so as a short recap, you've had the horse all his life. All of a sudden, he starts showing signs of some lameness and some things. He's off. You go through 4 farriers, 2 veterinarians, a myriad of tests, and no answers. Nobody has any idea what's going on. And meanwhile, you keep seeing the different ads and things in your news feed with the Equinety Horse Excel. And you said you were skeptical, but what was your real thoughts going on when you would see the Equinety ads going on?
No, truth. It's just everybody that's selling something has the very best. Mm-hmm. And so even when I called and asked about it, I was kind of like talk to the hand.
Yeah.
I just didn't. But bottom line is I didn't know what else to do because I had no answers and I adore this horse. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, it's the cost of 1 tub of powder. Why not try it? Thank goodness I did. Thank goodness.
And I tell you what, for those of you tuning in for the first time, and maybe you're in a similar situation, it could be, you've tried everything else under the sun, nothing seems to be working, some kind of a mystery, something going on. Or you're looking at maybe just giving your horse a little bit of an edge or helping with some arthritic issues or joints or filling out top line, demeanor, any of these types of things, and you keep seeing the Equinety ads rolling by, and you're one of the skeptics. Here's what this product is and why it works in so many ways. First of all, it's 100% pure amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein. And with it being in this stage, it's already in the stage ready for absorption, which is one reason why it works so quickly. There's no fillers, there's no sugars, no starches, and there's no loading dose. And I didn't ask you this before, but were you surprised at how little the dose was?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a little tiny scoop, like a rounded teaspoon is all it is, just once a day, perfectly fine. So there are situations where you can give one in the morning and one in the evening for a horse in recovery or for a performance horse to help with recovery. But scientifically, what this product is designed to do is stimulate the pituitary gland, which is about the size of a pea right in the middle of the brain, and that's what releases hormones in the body. And the hormones specifically that we're after are growth hormone, and that triggers IGF-1 out of the liver, but that's the combination of those hormones are what go throughout the body to help repair at a cellular level. So in this case, we're dealing with a severe question mark mystery type of a thing. And by adding the Equinety Horse Excel, we're giving the body what it needs to release its own hormones. Therefore, the body's deciding where to send those hormones with pinpoint accuracy. So one of the other great things about this product, it does start working in 24 hours. So it's really just a matter of how quickly you can begin seeing things. And I would say the vast majority, and I'm talking upper 90 percentile of people, do see changes in 30 days or less. And that could just be a softer, shinier, healthier coat, filling out. They're happier. They have a better demeanor. Also, people will comment on faster hoof growth in a 30-day mark, although closer to 6 weeks, but we've had a lot of people comment in 30 days and thicker soles. So we're blessed. It's an amazing product that really does so many things, and it's, I can't say enough good things about it, but, hearing you and give this whole story, and then at the very end, and again, I stepped over you when you said you've got your horse back. That's got to make you feel great. Having your horse. It does. So you weren't able to ride your horse for about a year, or was it about that long during all this? Yeah. Yeah. And then when was the first time you were able to get back on and go ride?
Oh, it was within the month. And the reason it was I was wondering, how am I going to know when I should ride this horse? Because it was such a weird thing that he's not lame. most of the time. You don't see him limping, but I knew because I looked out and he was bucking in his pen, and he hadn't bucked, and he was jumping around, swinging his head, and just being coltish, just having fun. And he hadn't done that in a year. And I thought, oh, okay, I better ride him. And I was kind of worried he might be too frisky, but he wasn't. He didn't get like hot or high, or he was just back to work. Okay, Mom, let's go.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Because you had mentioned to me that while the other horses are out running around, he would just stand there and watch them.
Yep, he would watch them run by, and that's not normal for horses. They want to be in part of the group,
right?
And he just would watch them run by.
Yeah, so, and you brought up another good point. You know, you look out there and see him bucking around and playing and acting coltish, but he's not hot. So that is, I won't say a very common question, but we do have people that say, hey, will this product make my horse hot? Well, there's nothing in this product to make your horse hot, but what it is doing, it helps them feel better. So that's where the bucking and playing and stuff, but they're not hot. They just feel good. You know, it's really what it comes down to. So now you've been given the product now just a little over 3 months. And how's he doing today?
Well, I rode yesterday, and it just keeps getting better. It's been a long time. We've had some iffy weather, so I haven't ridden really consistent to see a really nice, as much of progress as I could have, because it was there. I just wasn't riding. But then I rode again yesterday. Each time I ride him, he's just better and better and better. And yesterday rode, and he just had his great big extended walk that he can do. And he's been like a Shetland pony. When I have ridden him in the last year, he just feels like he just couldn't stretch out. Whatever was hurting him, wherever, made him just shuffle like a little, like a Shetland.
Oh, wow.
Instead of a nice, big, strided, gaited horse.
Yeah.
And he just got into his big old walk, and you could tell he was totally free, totally comfortable. It was awesome. I just had a blast yesterday.
Oh, that is fantastic. Well, I tell you, if there's anybody tuning into this that even after hearing this story and they're thinking, well, my horse has a little something different going on, or I don't know, I'm still iffy or skeptical. Is there anything other than what you've talked about that might get them to just go ahead and give it a try?
Well, I had another horse that she wasn't in pain or anything, but she seemed a little different too. But I don't know her as well. And I went ahead after I had Flint on it for a month and could see already substantial improvement. I thought, wow, well, why not put Cat on it? So I put her on it, and she immediately got better. And she was happier, and she was moving out better. I didn't even really realize that there was something going on with her. I just was beginning to suspect. So I would say for any horse, they can't talk. So they might have something that this could help, and just put them on it and see what you have.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point, because what we've even found in the high-end performance barns, or just the people that can afford to give the best of everything to their horse, what we're finding is just by adding this to their diet, it will seem to just kick them up another notch, whatever that might be. It could be even the coat is softer and shinier. It could be a little healthier, stronger hoof growth. It could be, filling out a little bit, or top line type of issues, but they're happier. We have a lot of people that use it as a preventative, because it is helping to keep the cells working at their optimal levels. So it's, like I said, we're blessed. It's an amazing product. We had no idea it was going to help like it has, but after being on the market now for 5 years, what this is really showing us is that horses in general are deficient in the right amount of amino acids. And there's a lot of feeds and things out there that are loaded with amino acids, but if the feed is pelleted form, then it requires heat to create those pellets, which actually breaks down the integrity of the amino acids. And I would say the biggest thing with our product, they're specifically formulated, our 8 amino acids, to stimulate the pituitary gland. And that's what releases the hormones that help heal at a cellular level. So it's a very unique product that does things for a horse that I don't think anybody ever imagined. There's nothing like it on the market, and we're blessed again in that way, and which is also why our tagline is helping the horses worldwide. So great example with your story. So, well, before we sign off, is there anything else that you want to touch upon or share? Or that's a pretty powerful story you just gave. I
just would encourage people to try it, because I was a skeptic, and now my horse is thanking me, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, well, Kim Harmon out of Utah, thank you so much for taking the time to share your story here on the Equinety Podcast.
Thank you so much.
That's all for this episode of the Equinety Podcast. For more information on purchasing Equinety, be sure to visit our website at teamequinety.com, where you'll also find product information as well as more testimonials on how others have seen amazing results by implementing Equinety into their horse's supplement regime. We'll have more stories on how Equinety is helping horses worldwide right here on a future episode of the Equinety Podcast.